Feel that burning frustration deep inside, that rage swelling every time a meaningful cause you're passionate about hits an invisible wall, because the resources aren't there, because nothing is moving fast enough, because the world is designed to slow you down. The deadlines spool rapidly, the pressure mounts, and yet the impact you crave to create feels like wading through thick fog, grasping at shadows that fade every time you reach out. It's maddening. It's exhausting. But here's the unvarnished truth no one's telling you. Waiting for the funding fairy or hoping the right donor miraculously notices your cause won't cut it. In fact, it's a trap, a vicious cycle that drains your energy while the world marches on. You know it. You see it in the disheartening pitches that drag on without results, the endless grant applications that yield crumbs, the relationships that fizzle before they even ignite. But what if that frustration, the gnawing impatience, the fire in your gut could be flipped? That agony is the bitter sound of isolation in a system built to cage you, to make real change feel impossible. Not just soothed, but transformed into raw, unstoppable power. That's where corporate partners come in, not as distant sponsors or passive check writers, but as turbochargers for your cause. Partners who don't just back you, they propel you forward fast and not through the worn-out scripts of corporate social responsibility lip service, but with relentless, strategic, laser-focused collaboration that shatters bottlenecks and sends your impact into overdrive. Let's be clear. Corporate partnerships are not magic wands that sprinkle money and hope. Too many founders waste precious time courting the wrong kind of partners who want little more than to polish their image while delivering zero real help. The key is to speak their language fiercely, to recognize their core motives, and to impose your urgency and purpose on their growth ambitions. You demand deep integration, not just a logo on your website or a timid mention in a newsletter. They want to solve big problems with you, not just write a check and sleep at night. You drag them into the trenches of your mission. You challenge them to move beyond the safety of philanthropy and become co-creators of innovation linked to your cause. Because companies want more than charity. They want relevance, impact that reverberates through their brand, and the chance to unlock new markets and talents aligned with purpose. The moment you stake your claim as a bold partner who isn't here to beg but to build, you become the only one they want to back. Here's an insider edge no one will hand over on a silver platter. Find the corporate partners whose deepest challenges intersect with your cause. Scrutinize their business pain points. Is sustainability a mountain they can't climb? Is employee engagement a leaky bucket? Is innovation stuck in endless meetings with no breakthrough? Discover the exact problem you solve for them. Then lead with that shared gain, not with your needs. Your ask has to be a two-way weapon, a proposal so sharp that it carves real value for both sides. That's how you stop being another charity and become an indispensable strategic ally. Look beyond CSR budgets buried in bureaucracy. Hunt for intra-company champions, unstoppable internal change agents hungry to make waves from within. Your mission is to find these firebrands and equip them with your cause's narrative, to help them trigger internal revolutions that snap open doors polished executives thought were locked solid. Once these connections ignite, don't back off. Partner relentlessly, almost obsessively. Embed their teams into your projects with daily, real-time collaboration. Let them see your challenges raw and your triumphs powered by their engagement. Create spaces where corporate innovation labs meet nonprofit agility. Co-host hackathons where your mission meets their R&D. Combine your cause's authenticity with their resources and learnings to test new ideas that neither could solve alone. This is not just funding. This is impact scaling at rocket speed. It's symbiosis, not sponsorship. Every minute not spent in this deep, fierce interaction is a minute your cause wastes in limbo. And here comes the ultimate secret weapon, data that fuels the partnership. Companies live on numbers. They need proof. Make it your obsession to collect, analyze, and share real-time impact metrics that narrate your story not with vague ideals, but with punchy, undeniable results. Use dashboards, videos, testimonials, and live feeds from the field to make their investment pulse palpable. Show them the lives changed, the ecosystems protected, the innovations sparked, and how their involvement blew through projections. This transparency creates a feedback loop of trust and compels them to invest more time, money, and executive attention. Remember, the more they see numbers climb, the deeper their commitment becomes. No data, no deal. No storytelling, no future. Now, this intensity of partnership can't flourish without trust forged through uncompromising honesty. Be brutally real about setbacks, bottlenecks, and failures. Show them the raw underbelly of your cause's struggles. When you expose vulnerabilities fearlessly, something powerful happens. Partners drop the polished corporate scripts and meet you in radical collaboration. This is where transformation lives. Don't sugarcoat progress. Own the hard truth that shaping real change is messy, nonlinear, relentless work. That authenticity pulls partners close, makes them take ownership, and invest not just money, but heart and intellect. Finally, break free from the old mental cages of national borders and rigid sectors. Corporate partnerships are not about charity in a vacuum. They're the engine for strategic globalization of impact. Build alliances that cut across industries and geographies. Use partners' global networks to channel funds, ideas, and resources where the world's pain is sharpest, not just where it's easiest. Connect founders, investors, and partners into an autonomous web fueled by shared urgency and relentless drive to challenge the impossible. This is how causes explode in scale, through unstoppable networks that refuse to wait for permission or scripted rules. So here's the bold command to take home. Stop thinking of corporate partners as a nice to have. Command the partnership. Hunt down allies with ferocious intent. Carve the deal around mutual gain, not gratitude. Embed them into the daily fight with data that bites and honesty that shocks. Demand their best thinking and resources and give them the chance to be heroes of real change. Use every connection as a spark to ignite an explosion of impact so fast, so deep, that the world has no choice but to notice. The truth is, you don't have time to play safe or timid. The cause is screaming for speed, for precision, for radical partnership. The difference between wasting another year stuck alone and breaking through into the blitz of transformation is one thing. How fiercely you pursue and orchestrate these corporate alliances, harness that fury inside. Turn frustration into a juggernaut. Today, now, refuse to stand idle. Fire the first shot, build the network, ignite the impact. The world needs no more waiting. It needs you unleashed.